What's up, everybody? You're back with Text to My Ex. I'm Esmarie, and today we have a bunch of Q&A that I want to get to. So let's dive right in. Serious question. How long does it take you to fall in love with someone, in your opinion? And have you ever said, I love you first, and not have it reciprocated? How did it make you feel? I think this is a really good place to start because I think that society puts a lot of pressure on relationships, standards, expectations. If it's not done in this amount of time, then it's not good, or don't waste your time if they don't do this. And to me, there is no time frame. There's no timing on it. It's whatever feels right. The only thing you have to be sure of and be careful of is just to make sure that it's not love bombing. Make sure it's not obsession. Make sure it's not there's another term, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it starts with an L, but it's kind of similar to that. As long as you're going through things in a mature way, you're asking the right questions, things feel natural, it's very give and take, the energy seems to be reciprocated in all aspects of the relationship. It doesn't seem like the person's trying too hard, or it doesn't seem like they are doing things for ill intentions or an ulterior motive, a different agenda, then it should be fine. Now, as far as saying I love you first and not hearing it back, I don't believe that it's fair to put it on one person. Like, some people make it by gender, right? Like, oh, the man's supposed to say it first. I don't agree with that. Not only because there's heterosexual, homosexual couples, but also it's just because you don't say it back doesn't mean you never will say it, right? And there's so many things that go through a person's head when they're entering a new situation with somebody or a different relationship. They very well could feel it, and maybe they just have a guard up, and that's their right, that's their boundary until they feel comfortable. So I think whenever it feels right to you, because you can have love for a person and not be in love with a person, right? So you can, I don't think that you should ever have to hold back how you feel. Now, don't tell them that you love them within a week. I don't think that's very healthy. However, you know, if you say it first and it feels like it's the right amount of time and it's genuinely how you feel about the person, you've really grown to care about them and you have love for them, like you don't want nothing bad to happen, or because you never know, you could get on a plane and something could happen, you could go driving and something could happen, you could be at the wrong place at the wrong time and something could happen. So I feel like if you have those feelings and you have that connection with somebody, why should you have to suppress how you feel because society tells you, oh, well, if they don't say it back, then oh my gosh. So then what about the other person? They have the same fear as you do about saying it first and not hearing it back. Somebody's got to do it, right? Now, if you say it, they don't say it back, and then they start to switch up their energy on you, that's when you can start to be like, okay, maybe this isn't what I thought it was. And it might be a hard situation to deal with. It might be a hard pill to swallow, but at least you found out, right? At least you got the answer that you need so you don't have to waste your time. But if you say it, they don't say it back, but they still keep the same energy. They're still trying to put in effort. They're still trying to get to know you. Don't let it make you feel any kind of way. Just go with the flow. Just keep in your mind, like, I was just showing love to another human being. And that's okay. And when they're ready, they're going to do the same things. They also may show you ways that they love you without saying it right away. It's a very vulnerable space for some people. Every time I talk to my boyfriend about Botox or lip filler, he tells me that my face is perfect and that if I were to touch it, he possibly would no longer be attracted to me. I've really been wanting to get freckles, and so I sent him a video of a girl that got them just to see what he would say, and of course, he has a problem with it. Is this a red flag? Or is he entitled to like what he likes and openly admit it? Number one, he definitely has a right to like what he likes. Now, with the Botox filler situation, at least that's not like a permanent thing, right? You can try it out, see if you like it. If it's not fitting, okay, cool. If it causes a huge issue, okay, cool. Maybe you guys can compromise and you just can't do it. The freckles is permanent. So I think it's kind of like, I see both sides of the situation, right? You should be able to do whatever makes you feel beautiful. If this is what you want to do, that's what you should do. I had an ex one time. I don't know if you can see, I had snake bites. Very, very, very tiny little diamond snake bites. Some people couldn't even notice it sometimes when I was out in public. He didn't like them. And instead of me just doing what made me feel good and keeping them in because that's what I liked. It was my style, it was my vibe. I took them out for him. And then later on down the road, I kind of regretted it. Now it doesn't even matter. But it's like a balance between doing what you want to make you happy, to make you feel good, because ultimately it is your body, it is your life, and you only have one life. You should live it to the fullest and do what you feel you want to do, you know? But it's also like you can't be upset if that all of a sudden makes him just feel like, this isn't the person that I fell in love with. Visibly, it's just not appealing to me. Attractiveness is an important thing in a relationship. He should be accepting you for who you are, yes, on one hand, but he also is entitled to his own opinion. So I don't know. I feel like that's kind of an iffy one where I kind of feel like both of you have valid points. And it's just a matter of if you guys can compromise for each other, if you guys can figure something out, or if somebody's just gonna have to suck it the fuck up and deal with something that they don't like. I'm going through my emails and I can't tell if this is one that we've already answered. But if it is, I apologize. But either way, it's still a good thing to talk about. So I've talked to this guy for about 2 months, every single day. He has never asked me out, but has been on other dates. I am planning to send him this message. What do you think? I had a really nice time with you, and that connection that you and I have is not the connection that I'm looking for anymore. I'm not mad because you never wanted to meet me or go on a date with me or call. I'm just losing interest. Take care. I don't think you should send that message at all, actually. One, why are you talking to me for 2 months without asking for a date? Unless this is long distance, what the fuck are we doing? Like, y'all's schedule cannot be this busy. That's number one. Number two, this message gives desperation. In my opinion, you're only sending it because you want him to explain himself for something he really doesn't need to explain. Because at the same time, you have to take accountability here that you have chose to talk to him for 2 months. If I'm talking to a guy for a week or two and he hasn't even attempted to say like, hey, I would love to meet up with you. I would love to go get drinks. I would love to take you out. I would love to get to know you more. Would you like to meet? I'm not going to keep entertaining the conversation. You're a grown man, act like one. If you're pursuing me, act like it. So you have to take accountability. You also stayed chatting with him for that long. So what is this really going to do? I think that like it's more of like a take a hint sort of situation. And he's made it very clear that he's not trying to pursue you because he's gone on other dates. He's made time for other people. He's made the effort for other people. So this just seems like a reach, and it seems like you're wanting that clarification or validation or whatever. I think what's understood doesn't need to be explained. You know where he stands. He didn't have the balls to just like be honest about it, and you just don't like what's been happening, and you shouldn't even care. You shouldn't give a shit that this person you've never even met, who you've only been talking to for 2 months, right, didn't make time for you. He's obviously not the one for you. Let it go. So I have a question about my boyfriend, because he will stay up when we do foreplay, but then he goes soft entering the front door. But then when it's the back door, he magically gets up again and performs great back there. He's always wanting the front door at the very end, and it makes me question, like, is he gay? He's always talking about how much he loves being in the back door. I just don't know what to think. I'm gonna be honest. Ooh, there's two ways to look at this. Either one, yes, there are things that maybe turns him on a little bit more, and there are some guys who don't want to admit that, and they are undercover and whatever. That's one possibility. Or number two, which is probably the harder possibility to accept and is kind of harsh to hear, maybe the front door just isn't as put together and doesn't feel as good to him as the back door. I also don't know his size. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things that it could be in this situation, but yes, I do see like why this would be a concern for you. And I say it all the time. Relationships that are going to last long have to have tough conversations. Instead of asking me, you need to be talking to him. You need to be sitting him down and saying, look, this is something serious. This is something we need to get to the bottom of. If you love and care about him, like, and he loves and cares about you, this needs to be something that y'all can be open about, because if not, it's going to constantly be a question in the back of your head, and it's going to cause issues down the road, because he's got to understand how it's making you feel as a woman, right? And listen, biologically we're born a certain way. There's certain things you can't help, but it still needs to be talked about so that you guys can both feel comfortable in the bedroom. You can both figure out a way to pleasure each other to where the other person doesn't feel any less worthy or less confident in themselves. It's just gonna all around make the connection better, and it's gonna make the sex better, right? So yeah, I think that's just a conversation that y'all need to have. But I knew a girl who had a boyfriend that only preferred the back door. And she said the same thing. She was like, what the fuck is going on? So she never got the answer. They never had the conversation, but let's hope you do and you get a better result. So, kind of random, I currently have a boyfriend. We've been together a little over a year now. He's 10 years older than me, so clearly he's had a lot more experience in life than me. Lately, I have been interested in women and possibly having a threes party. Like really bad, actually, but not with him. I actually do like him, and I feel like the person like me, it's not something I can do with someone that I like. Plus, he said that he's already done all of this and he's really not interested in that type of stuff anymore. I'm just starting to second guess myself and getting involved with older men. Just needed to get it out and ask, should I end things or should I talk to him? Well, yes. Okay. When you've dealt with someone who's already kind of put that part of their life behind them, it is something that you kind of have to accept in a way, and see if that's something you want for your relationship on one hand, right? But you should sit and talk to him about it, because if he's mature and if he is looking for something serious and if he is taking this serious with you, because like you said, you've been together over a year, then he should also understand what it feels like to be in your shoes, having not had those experiences. The part where it's a problem is where you say, I want to experience these things, but not with him. It's kind of like, wait a minute. So, you know that I'm not really into it. You know that I don't want to do it anymore, but then you want me to let you do it. And then on top of me letting you do it and feeling comfortable with you doing it, you want to do it without me? Like, that's kind of like a big ask. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like, and again, this is to each their own. Everyone has a different opinion when it comes to these sort of things. I personally was in a semi-open relationship a while back. I've done the threes parties with a relationship in the past. I would not want to do it without them, though. I feel as though like that, if you're going to experience those type of things for the first time, you should want to do that with your partner, right? Like they're the ones that you should be more comfortable with and want to experience that with. But again, some other people feel like, no, like I don't share my partner. So you're kind of saying like, oh, I don't want to share you and I don't want to do that with you, but I'm expecting you to be okay with sharing me with somebody else. Not really, I don't think it'll pan out very well. But I do think you at least need to tell him how you're feeling. If you explain it in a certain way, hopefully he will sit there and say, okay, you know what? I got to have my fun. Maybe you should experience it as well. And I can open my mind up to that because I care about you, because I do see a future with you. Another tough conversation, but you need to have it. Went on a few dates with a guy. He would hold hands while we walked around, took me on a super romantic date, and I went over to his place and we had our first kiss. We weren't intimate, but it did get pretty steamy. Next day, he wasn't as responsive, and I haven't heard from him since then at all. He read my last text on Monday and left me unread, so I really want to text him and say the following. Given that you left me unread for almost a week now, I'm assuming that you're not interested, which is fine. I would have appreciated you letting me know that instead of ghosting me, specifically after the last time I saw you. I usually wouldn't and would just shrug it off, but he really seemed to want something serious. And now that he's just disappeared after we finally kissed and we're all over each other, so it's pissing me off. What should I do? Here's the harsh truth, doll. You went on a few dates, things happened, but you didn't go all the way, right? Okay. I feel like everyone kind of understands that in this day and age, people do have rosters. People are getting to know different people at the same time to see who's more compatible with them. Do I think it was cool to ghost? No, I'm completely against the ghosting culture. I think people need to mature the fuck up and just say how they feel. It's a simple text. Hey, I enjoyed getting to know you, but I have found another connection that I would rather pursue. I wish you the best. Keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't have the balls to do that. So do I think that the ghosting was a good idea? No. But kind of like what I was saying earlier, what is this really going to do for you? Because you're sending the message to get some sort of validation for yourself. He knows what he's doing. He's not stupid. And 9 times out of 10, he just connected better with somebody else. Or 9 times out of 10, he really wasn't looking for anything serious. He told you that because he was trying to see if he could get laid. You didn't do it. He realized that, you wasn't about that. And then he decided to be a coward about it and go about his business and just go get a female who was going to be down for that. Yes, communication could have been involved, but at the same time, what's understood doesn't need to be explained. Like I said, you already know where he stands, know your worth, and have some respect for yourself, dignity, and just walk away. Like, just call it for what it is. He left you on red, sis. He knew he did that. So what are you over here tripping about? There's 8 billion people in this world, and you tripping off of a dude who just took you on a couple dates that you didn't even sleep with at that? Girl, bye. Don't embarrass yourself, because I feel like that's just going to embarrass yourself, because then it shows him that it bothered you, instead of you just knowing, you know what, I gave him a little bit of time and effort. I tried to get to know him. I did right on my end. I was a good person. I'm gonna go find someone who's gonna treat me better. All right, how do you deal with your girl best friend that knowingly messes around or entertains married men or taken men? It never came to light as kids until now. Do you trust them around your man? I've called her out and tried to have conversations about it, but they almost seem like proud of it. I've even said, oh, you should save receipts and send it to the girl, but literally she seems to have no interest in doing that because it's weird. What should I do? We've been friends for over 10 years. Ooh, girl. So you're saying that it came out now and that you didn't know it as kids. Is this one person? Is this multiple people? Because I just feel as though if you've been friends for over 10 years, it's not like you just found out last week, right? You've had to have known for at least a little bit amount of time if you're saying that this is regular behavior for her, okay? Now, this is just me. This is just me. I don't give a damn how long I've known you. I'm not going to keep company that thinks it's okay to do foul behavior, number one. Have no respect for themselves, number two. If I can't respect you, I can't be friends with you. Point blank, period. I've cut off friends in the past. Trust me. It'll benefit you down the road. What she's doing, you said you've called her out on it. You said you brought it to her attention, and she still keeps the same behavior up. That tells you right there, she's not somebody you want to be in touch with. Now, do you not want to completely cut her off, maybe love her from a distance? That's okay if that's what you want to do. But just know later on down the road, if anything comes back on you and it's negative from her, you sat there and didn't make the right move, and you basically asked for it. Like, you saw the snake, you just gave her the benefit of the doubt because she hadn't bit you yet. So if you get bit, you get bit. Don't cry about it later. But I personally wouldn't want to be friends with somebody who thinks that's okay. And there was one friend that I had who, she did some shit that I just could not respect, right? And I stopped talking to her for a few years. Later on down the road, we somehow reconnected. I forgot how it was. She had completely changed her life. She is now doing so amazing. And, okay, cool. So we've been best friends ever since, really good friends. Maybe this could happen for you and her. But yeah, nah, I'm not finna co-sign anybody doing that shit. And yeah, because I'm a big person on energy, right? And spirituality and all that shit. I don't want no type of energy like that around me, because that's only it's gonna boil over into my life somehow. And yeah, you brought up a good point. Should I even trust her around my man? I wouldn't. And I'm not even the insecure type. That's the crazy part. I am the most trusting in my relationships. You want to fuck me over, bitch, it's your loss. I don't even care. But just the fact that you have to question that is pretty sad, because I can't name one friend right now in my life that I wouldn't trust around my man. I could be at work and she could come over waiting for me to get off and get ready in the bathroom, and I wouldn't even care. I trust all my friends. So the fact that you have to question that is an issue. So yeah, nah. I feel like you either need to cut her off because you've seen the person that she is, or you need to love her from a distance, and she'll realize when she starts losing people around her, she'll realize that she needs to work on herself and check her spirit. And maybe you just need to have a serious heart to heart with her. It's not even about calling her out, because depending on how aggressive you come at her, it's gonna go in one ear and out the other. But if you sit her down as a caring friend and be like, yo, I've been friends with you for over 10 years. Like, what is going on internally? What issues do you have internally that is causing you to do these sort of things? Because I know you're not happy with yourself. No happy person is gonna go around fucking up other people's lives. No happy person is gonna go around doing things like that they know is foul. So it is something internal that she needs to address. But it's is she willing to do that? Is she willing to work on herself and go through the healing so that she can be a better version of herself? And maybe that can be your last ditch effort. You could be like, you know what? I gave her a heart to heart. I sat her down. I was a good friend. I tried to help her. She want to still continue the same fuck behavior. I'm going to keep her at a distance. And you know what? Good riddance. Wish her the best. You know what I mean? That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. So I've been thinking about having a female test my situationship. This man claims to be all about me after he's cheated on me with multiple women, and now he's promising the world after a month. This man has told me that he is done with his old ways. I really want to know if he will continue deceiving me or if I will have the absolute last and final reason to run and shut the door for good. I am a girl's girl, so I know that I would do the same for any woman. I just don't know if it's a good idea or if it's even a good thing to do at this point to get the clarity that I need. Okay. Y'all know I'm going to keep it real. I don't know why you would ask me a dumb ass question like this. I already know what the fuck I'm about to say. This is a waste of your time. You talking about a month? You talking about a month? What? Girl, what are you doing? And you think after a month he's all of a sudden just gonna change his ways and he's just gonna turn into Prince Charming? Bitch, please. And you're gonna get another girl involved to try to play this petty ass game? If that's the case, then why don't you just create a goddamn burner account and do it yourself? Like, what is the point? Like, girl, this is a waste of your damn time. No. Stop talking to this man. Stop talking to this man. Don't even go through. If you have to go through all this to see if you should be with somebody, what the fuck is the point? You need to work on yourself and you need to heal, because this is not something you should even be entertaining. The moment a man cheats on you, especially in this amount of time, you should have been moved on, sis. Not cheated on me multiple times. Girl, if you were dating a guy for 6 months and he casually told you that he wasn't the age you thought he was, what would you do? How would you feel? And how would you respond? So I actually had this happen once. I was 23 years old. He lied to me and told me that he was 29, and I found out. I almost want to say it was the same amount of time. I think it was within 6 months. I found out he was 33. And I was young and dumb at the time, so I just kind of like he played it off as like a joke. But I'm like thinking to myself, like, what the fuck is the difference between 29 and 33? To be honest, like, it's only a couple years difference. So if I was willing to give you a chance at 29, don't you think I would be giving you a chance at 33? But I don't know. So he played it off as a joke. I kind of was like, he ha ha. Yeah. 2.5 years later, found out the man was married, was living a whole double life. Like, so I feel like I would have made a better decision had I been older. I think I was just young and dumb. I think I was naive. I think that I wanted to see the best in him, so I brushed it off. But lying about your age like that especially lying about it for 6 months, like, that's kind of a big red flag to me. Now, I could see if like y'all randomly met out, y'all was drunk and he said this, that, and the other. He didn't really know if he was going to take you serious or not. You know, people give fake names and shit, the whole fucking nine, right? But you're talking about 6 months of your time. That's half a year that he has, wasted basically, because if you have been investing it and then this is something that's not what's okay with you, that's a whole 6 months wasted. And if he's going to lie about something like that, what the fuck else has he lied about? You don't know, right? So I would definitely look at that as a red flag. And I don't know. That's kind of one of those things where I guess it's to each their own. Because you asked how would I respond? That's like a to each their own. Do you want to take the chance and see if maybe this was just a one thing that he's bullshitting about, or do you walk away and that be a lesson learned to him? Don't do that. Like, that's not funny. That's not cool. That's not, like, what are you doing? be a man. Why the fuck are you lying about your age? That's the dumbest fucking shit to lie about, knowing that if we together long enough, I'm gonna see your damn ID. What the hell? Like, so yeah, I feel like if it was me, I would walk away. Only because when I went through it, shit only got worse. You couldn't pay me to put up with some shit like that again. So that's just what I would do. All right, I think it's gonna be the last one that we're gonna do for this episode. What exact verbiage is the best answer to use when a guy says, "Are you dating other guys?" I talked about in the beginning of the episode. You know, everybody's like doing rosters nowadays. People are testing out their options. They don't want to put all their eggs in one basket. You know, so if a guy were to text me and say, "Are you dating other guys?" I personally, because again, I feel like we need to be mature. We need to have those tough conversations. I don't think there's anything wrong with getting to know multiple people at once. I would tell him, I would say, I think it's healthy for both of us to test our options and get to know other people and see who we're more compatible with. I'm not going to be sleeping with everyone. So that is something I would also mention in my response. But um, yeah, I would just say I think it's healthy for both of y'all to be exploring options. So yeah. Anyways, that is all for this episode, and I hope you enjoyed. If you have anything that you want to ask me, go ahead, check the link. You know where to send the email, and come back for the next episode of Texting My Ex.